Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law Unfiltered with your host, the DUI Guy Plus. What a fascinating turn of events today as a jury renders a verdict in the Take Care of Maya jury trial. I don't know if you all have been following this case. I unfortunately did not have the luxury of following it from the beginning, but I definitely caught the tail ends of this case. I've just been busy, as you all who follow me know. I've been traveling, and then I've had a few jury trials of my own that I had to take care of. Well, after what seems to be 8 weeks or so of testimony, and the jury deliberated for like what, a day and a half? I don't know. I thought closings were on Monday, and I don't know if they bled over onto Tuesday or not, but at least 2.5 days, at most, excuse me, 2.5 days of deliberations, and they have a verdict. Oh my God. The jury finds John Hopkins Hospital liable on pretty much every single claim. Now, that is a rarity. That is a rarity. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining Vicky A. That is a rarity. Like, rarely do you see every single claim being granted by the jury like this. $200 million that they're liable for. Now, to be fair, first of all, the hospital is insured. They're probably going to be able to have insurance cover the bulk of that payment. But secondly, they have that kind of money. They're a hospital. It's, she didn't sue like a gas station. But this is crazy, and everybody's been rooting for them. The verdict came down, I think, just a few hours ago, maybe 6-7 hours ago. This is what the some newspapers had to say. Venice, Florida. After 8 weeks of argument and testimony, jurors have reached a verdict in a $220 million case against John Hopkins Children's Hospital that was the premise of the Netflix documentary Take Care of Maya. On Tuesday, lawyers on both sides presented their closing arguments. Okay, I thought it was Monday. I guess they were still arguing. So on Tuesday, the lawyers on both sides presented their closing arguments before the judge handed over the case to the jury, made up of 4 women and 2 men, around 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. Tuesday, render a verdict 1 p.m. Thursday. That's barely 2 days of deliberations. That's insanity. So, well, technically, I guess 3 days if you really want to get technical. They had half a day Tuesday, they had a full day Wednesday, and then half a day Thursday. But like 16 hours of deliberation, that's it. That is crazy to render such a very high verdict. I guess the testimony and the evidence has been absolutely clear. I mean, jurors don't just hand over such verdicts very lightly, as we all know. Jurors are people. People want to be fair. People want fairness to be basically brought around. After 2 days of deliberation, the jury returned a verdict finding the hospital liable for all 7 claims levied against it. We'll talk about it in just a second. The Kowalski family, Maya, Jack, and Kyle, shed tears as the jury read their decision on a case that was 2 years in the making. The jury was given 80 pages of instruction from Judge Hunter Carroll and had to decide on the 7 claims, including false imprisonment, which the jury ruled in favor of the Kowalski family, number 1. Number 2, battery. The jury ruled in favor of the Kowalski family. Medical negligence also ruled in favor of the Kowalski family. Same with fraudulent billing. The survivor claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress, the estate of Beta Kowalski. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I probably look like a fool to some of you who are like, it's Beata or something like that. I don't know. The jury ruled in favor of the Kowalski family as well. Wrongful death claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress causing death. That is so rare. I mean, they're basically saying that the hospital is liable for the woman taking her own life. You know how extreme that is and how rare that is? I mean, it is basically like the equivalent of saying, like, look, somebody takes their own life, and events that happened prior to that make you the responsible party, and you're just like, wait, whoa, I was nowhere near the thing, I didn't do the thing, I wasn't anywhere near, I was not responsible, I don't know what you want from me. And the jury's saying, yeah, that you're responsible. And you're just like, that's the most extreme one. The verdict came down at about 1:30 p.m. Master Genobi. This came down literally today, so this is fresh. This is completely fresh. Maya Kowalski's claim for intentional infliction of emotional distress, the jury ruled in favor of the Kowalski family. In compensatory damages, the family is going to receive $211 million, just north of. The jury decided that the family would also receive an additional 50,000 in punitives. Punitive damages. Do you realize how far this jury has gone? This is kind of insane. Like, it's absolute insanity as to how this jury is literally sending a message. This is what this jury has done. This is not just about the Maya case anymore. Punitive damages are only awarded when the jury wants to punish the bad actor for the way that they acted and to deter future behavior from, let's say, hospitals in the future or any entities who could be in a similar position in the future. I mean, that is wild. That is wild. False imprisonment and false imprisonment with battery. I mean, in punitives, that's insanity. So in total, the family is receiving just north of a quarter billion. A quarter billion. What would you do? Shout out in the comments below if you just received. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. This family has gone through so much. I'm making light of it, like, hey, it just won the lottery. They did not just win the lottery. They suffered immense heartbreak, loss, pain. They had to relive all of that 8 weeks inside the courtroom. They had to testify. You know, it's a civil case, it's not a criminal case. At the end of the day, it's all about money, who owes to whom and how much. But still, 260. I mean, and you don't get taxed on that money. Did you know that? You get that the whole kit and caboodle. You win the lottery, you pay like 50% or 55%, I think it is, to if you want to collect the full sum, or you can spread it out over payments for the next 30 years and you only lose like, I think, 25 to 30% to taxes. But I mean, that's an insane amount of money. And this is a defendant that can absolutely pay. Now, no question they're going to appeal because there's literally nothing to lose. If they even cut just the punitives alone and they're left with the 211 million, there's not a lawyer or firm in the universe that's going to cost you 50 mil to get there. So whatever they're going to do now, they're going to save money almost universally if they win on any claim or are able to lower it and reduce it in any way, shape, or form. But I mean, that is still a large, large chunk of change. Now, why were they suing John Hopkins in the first place? Maya Kowalski's family, for those of you unfamiliar with the story, they were suing John Hopkins for $220 million initially, claiming its actions led the family matriarch, Beta Kowalski, to take her own life, right? This is what we started with. A judge ordered Maya to be sheltered at the medical facility under state custody while allegations of child abuse were investigated. The judge said Maya was not allowed to have physical contact with her mother. After 87 days without seeing her daughter, she took her own life. For 8 weeks, jurors heard from the Kowalskis, doctors, nurses, and experts. And jurors ultimately decided that whether what happened to the Kowalski family, and primarily the mother, could have been prevented, and if the hospital's actions pushed her to take her own life. The Kowalski family says hospital basically medically kidnapped Maya and battered her while she was in their care. Last week, the case almost came to a standstill as the Kowalski attorneys questioned a witness on the hospital's joint commission review. They pointed out the hospital had an immediate jeopardy citation, which they believed was during the time Maya was hospitalized. Days prior, the hospital presented expert witness Mark Anderson, who told the jury they met accreditation standards in 2016. And jurors don't care if you met your standards, you met your accreditation standards. At the end of the day, it's all hogwash. It's all BS. What they want are the raw facts. What they want to see is what actually happened during the pendency of the woman's stay at the hospital. Now, I think what really delineates this case from many, many other cases, for example, what's the one that comes to mind? The one in California, not Princeton. What's the school that I'm thinking of? For the love of God, where what's her name teaches? Dauber. There was, the young female that took her life. For the love of God, I can't think of her name right now. She was sufficiently detached from the school and the school's action to where her case is a lot more difficult to prove. Whereas this case, I guess she was Stanford. Thank you. For some reason, I couldn't. My brain is shutting down. It's a little too late in the evening, I suppose. It's 8:30 p.m. here on the Eastern Seaboard. Um, I've been up since like 7 a.m. I've been all over the place. I've been in Cincinnati. I've been in Jackson County, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Ohio. That is. So, pardon me as I cope with my brain. But that case in Stanford was just sufficiently detached. The taking her own life was sufficiently detached from the events that transpired that Stanford is alleging that they had nothing to do with. It's still a very, very interesting and I think sufficiently strong case to at least make its way to a jury. I don't think that Stanford is going to win on a motion for summary judgment. That I don't think. But this case, she was under their care. And plus, I think what also adds a lot of oomph to it, and I don't know if it came out during the trial because I don't think it's really relevant. I would object if I was a defense representing the hospital. I would jump up and down about this. The Netflix documentary, that's what brought a lot of eyes and ears to this. I'm 100% confident that not one of the single jurors that have been selected to sit on this jury have seen the Netflix documentary, or at least they said they haven't. But that would have been a huge factor. And I don't know if any testimony came out. Maybe you can shout out in the chat right now or in the comments below as to whether or not there has been any mention of the documentary. I think it's highly prejudicial, completely irrelevant, and has nothing to do with the case. But if it was mentioned in the case, I'm just very, very much curious since, like I said, I haven't had a chance to watch the trial. I was literally the last 2 months. It's kind of funny. September, October. So testimony has been going for about 8 weeks. The trial literally began when I left for Europe, so I didn't get a chance to really catch up to it until now. But hey, better late than never. So there was no mention of the documentary, says Becky. Becky, have you seen the majority of the trial? I hope. Otherwise, your comment will have to be taken with a grain of salt. But if you have, then yes. No mention. Another person says we have 3 people saying no. So I'm gonna trust the chat, and I'm gonna say that no mention of document, and that makes sense. Why would you mention something that has absolutely no bearing on the hospital's responsibility? That is bringing extraneous facts that have nothing to do with the present case at hand, and bringing them into a courtroom where the jury is supposed to decide liability in a very narrow, sequence of events, 87 days, if you will. Anything that happens afterwards or beforehand is usually not going to be relevant. Just like, there are certain things that are relevant, like, for instance, the nurse's training or the doctor's education. Like, those are all relevant because they are actors within the schematic of the trial, right? So, for example, in one of my cases, I can always bring in, like I did recently, which is, by the way, going to be on YouTube soon, expert witness we had in our case on Friday. It was the state's expert. He was literally, I didn't even use these words. I asked the jurors afterwards what they thought about the case. And one of the jurors was just like talking, and she said, "Oh yeah, when that quack was testifying, I nearly fell to the freaking floor, you guys." I was like, did she just call him a quack? Is that how I made him look? That's perfect. Like, I achieved my goal. Now, we still did not get the result that we wanted, but we did beat the offer. So it's still a W. Client is as happy as can be. And at the end of the day, it's all about getting those little W's in your life. The interesting thing is, I post a lot of videos that are like, cut out chunks from my trials. And I found it very, very interesting to where people will be like, well, what was the verdict? Well, did you win this case? Like, what was the... Okay, first of all, there are 2 different definitions of what a victory is. There's like the absolute victory, and then there are many underlying victories underneath. Like, for example, he had 4 charges. We beat 2 out of the 4. That's a huge victory. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's not about the result so much as it is the mechanisms that you're able to use. Because my job is to educate. I want people to literally steal my shit. Please steal my ideas, steal my skills, steal and copy and paste my talents in your own trials. Why? Because I am proud to say I have trial experience, right? This is not my first rodeo. I've been doing this for 10 years now. I have almost 440. Yeah, I have almost 40. I was about to say 4 dozen, but no, that would be like 48. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm almost there. I have over 40 or nearly 40 trials, I have to count, under my belt, right? I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. But when I post my content, when I post my jury trial portions, like for example, the cross examination of an expert or cross examination of a police officer with a very enticing title, like watch a police officer melt before your eyes, like I do that, first of all, because it's catchy and it's interesting and it's fun. And I try to make things fun because law is dry, it's boring, it's annoying, it's piss boring sometimes. So to make it interesting, to make it exciting, to make it enticing, I take the nuggets, I take the beauties that I have within my trials, and I post them for you all for your entertainment as best I can. Because most of the stuff that I post is not edited, so you still have to watch the dry stuff. Sometimes they're 20 minutes, sometimes they're 40 minutes, sometimes they're an hour and 20 minutes. But I have three. Okay, I have three pieces of content that is coming your way very, very soon. Now, it's completely not up to me. The cases are done. I'm just literally waiting on the court to provide me with the videotapes. So I'm going to get a chance to show you all pieces. And I probably won't post the full trials because the two reasons. One, there's a lot of strategy involved, and I don't want to share strategic moves because I am now at the stage where I can literally start to create a theory in the middle of a case. Okay. So I don't want to give away how my mind works and how I orchestrate and how I plan things. Now, certain things like jury selection, voir dire, like that's all cut and paste. I can throw it out there, but cases are about storytelling and effective storytelling. You're trying to convince individuals on your jury pool as to what you want them to know. Okay, and how you want them to think about the case. You are literally taking their minds and like shaping them into the position that you want them to be in. So, with that said, you're going to get a chance to see some of that work. And I'm not going to lie, I'm actually kind of really proud of these last two, especially because, first of all, in the first one, the jury was literally like, we really wanted to acquit because I talked to both sets of juries afterwards. So, here's a little sneak peek, okay? Because you don't get to see this. You're only going to see it right here, right now, in the next 15 seconds that I tell you. The first jury really, really wanted to acquit. They just didn't have enough corroborating evidence, and my client didn't have any, so I could not bring it to the table. And we did everything we could. So we literally achieved the absolute maximum possible effectiveness without getting the result that we wanted because we didn't have that missing link, that missing piece. If we had it, we would have won. Like literally would have been a not guilty. We will all go home. In the second one, same exact scenario. They really wanted to acquit, but as long as he got no jail time and the minimum fine, they were like, whatever. He can live with it. It's not going to ruin his life. It's not going to ruin his career. And at the end of it, one of the jurors came up to me and he was like, if I ever get in trouble, I'm hiring you. I'm like, there's no better compliment that you can. A jury that just convicted your client still tells you, if I get in trouble, you're my lawyer. Where can you see this shit? Like this is the stuff of lawyers' nightmares or wet dreams. I don't know. I can't tell you. It's literally insane. I don't know what is happening. The trials that I've had, by the way, since the Israel incident, this is all true. Since I came back from Israel, I do not recognize myself in trials anymore. Something happened. Something happened inside my brain. You will see what I mean when I show you the tapes. Maybe you can tell me because I still haven't figured it out. But this is not the same person. The prosecutor, I will not say in which trial because I don't want to throw any flame on the fire. This is not me trying to be like, oh, no, look at me, puff chest, puff chest. This is reality. This is just mind-blowing to me as a person. One of the prosecutors in one of my recent trials said to one of my associates when he was there on a different case, he literally said it was one of the best performances and one of the best opponents, most tough opponents he has ever had in his entire career, both as a lawyer and as a prosecutor. Not only that, he said, too, if he ever got in trouble, he would choose to retain my services as a client, the prosecutor who won against me. I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. Like reality doesn't make sense anymore. It used to be very cut and dry. You lose a case, you go cry in the corner and like be depressed for 3 days and it's fine and it's over, and you move on. I am getting in my car and I am smiling. I'm grinning from ear to ear because I just spoke to the jury and they like literally laid everything out to me. So you tell me, because I have no clue what's going on anymore. I've lost complete sense of everything. Matrix, thank you for being a member for 15 months. Sadly, a few horrible medical professionals at John Hopkins down. For the most part, hospitals provide good care. The ones you hire will change that. Justice, probably trying to finish. Justice. Yes. Hell yeah. Uh, Anne Bell Feinstein, thank you. A friend of mine wishes you practiced in Georgia. You know what? For the right price, you can too. No, for real. I have just finished a case in. It's funny you mentioned that. Okay, so little rundown. Number one, I just finished a case in Tennessee. Number two, I just won a case in Ohio. Number three, I just won a case in Alaska. Number four, I have a currently pending open case in California. We'll see how that one goes. Obviously, I'm shooting for a W as well, but I am currently licensed to practice law in 5 states, technically. I can take cases in Ohio. I have a Pro Hac Vici license there. I can take on 2 more cases before I have to renew my license, and I think at the end of the year. Tennessee, I can take on some cases. Alaska, I can take on some cases. Georgia, I just need the Pro Hac Vici. You just have to renew it once a year. It's kind of like the Johnny Depp trial. Remember, in the Johnny Depp trial, do you think all the lawyers came from Virginia? No, of course not. Ben Chu, Camille Vasquez, they were all from California. They're licensed in California. They have licenses in California. They just needed one lawyer from that firm or some other firm to be licensed in Virginia. And then they can also Pro Hac Vici, just like I do, and practice in the courts of Virginia. So it's not unheard of at all. Very, very easy. So if you have a case in Georgia, if you have a case, here's a small little plug, right? You ready? If you have a case in Florida, Georgia, California, Ohio, New York, wherever, you want me to come in for the right price, baby, I will come in, do your case for you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I don't even have to come in. Most of these cases, I don't even have to travel. A lot of courts do remote, like California. Alaska, I had local counsel. Ohio, I had local counsel. I almost drove there for the trial, but the prosecution ended up caving and giving us an offer we can't refuse. So if you have a case anywhere, including Georgia and Bell Feinstein, I can be there. You just got to cough up some dough. The lawyers don't work for free. And out-of-state work is very, very expensive. I'm warning you right now, all right? There's no sugarcoating it. Like, sure, yeah, absolutely. I will come to your jurisdiction anytime. And you call me and I'm just like, yeah, it'll be $55 million for me to come in. You're not going to get that. But it is very expensive. It is much more. It's like double, triple the price than if I'm handling a case here in the state of Kentucky for obvious reasons, because now I have to hire local counsel there and so on and so forth. So it gets a little messy, it gets a little hairy. It's absolutely doable. Absolutely doable. I've already done it in 4 different jurisdictions. Again, Alaska, Tennessee, Ohio, and California. And I'm happy. Get me the full 50 baseball cards of every state in the union. I don't care. I'll do it. I think there's somebody from New York getting ready to hire me. I don't know if it's for a consultation or they actually want me to work the case. I don't know. I don't care. You pay me, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I can, if it's my forte and so on. How did you know if you want to? Hey, did you know if you want to gift a membership? It's $4.99 a month for each. I believe so. Yeah. Well, there's tiers, right? There's like the 99-cent tier. There's the $4.99 tier. There's the $9.99 tier. Vicky, Is that what you're asking? Yeah, it's gonna be each. Yeah, unless you want to buy like five 9.99 or 99 cents. I mean, whatever. Yeah. Excuse me. They did once when the judge asked if anyone watched a good movie on Netflix, and the one lawyer said, "Take care of Maya." It was a sidebar without a jury. That's a very important caveat. Haley's comment. Very important caveat because it was outside the purview of the jury. So, is remote court more of a thing post COVID? Absolutely. I've noticed it spiking and becoming like a regular thing. Y'all want to see Zinnia? Show of hands, how many of y'all want to see Zinnia? It's been a while. I don't think I've shown her. Have I shown her on camera? Like, not the last stream, not the stream before that, maybe a few streams ago. I don't recall. It's been a while. Bigotif is like, yeah, and you got the little puppy in your photo. I love that. Um, your website contact form won't take anything out of state. I'll pass on the info. Oh, I must have to fix that. I actually did not know. Are you talking about on the oh. No, 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 no. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. If you try to like fill out the meet me or whatever form, it should work. So let's say you do like 130, I don't know. Um what's your issue? Where did it occur? Yeah, no, there are options. You can go Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, West Virginia, or other county, state, or country. You can literally pick a different country. It's just like it's a blanket at all the way at the bottom. It's a catch-all. It's a catch-all. So yeah, pass along the info. I really need to fix that. I really need to fix that. Because if you don't scroll, you'll never know. It literally says like, here, I'll show you, so you understand what I mean. For those of you who may not be familiar, where is it? There it is. So if you go to the meetme.so or whatever it is, um, after you choose your dates and times, so here we go. You're on my Google thing. If you want an appointment, there it is, meetme.so. If you click on that, you have to select your time zone, blah, blah, blah. Duration 30 minutes, and then you have to pick at least 3 times that you might be available. Let's say on Monday. And this is what you're talking about. Where did your issue occur? And you have like Jefferson County, Kentucky, Shelby, Oldham. If you scroll all the way down, you see you get Indiana, Tennessee, and then other county, state, or country. And then you just, type it in, let's say Mexico. And then you just finish filling out the rest of the form. And I can get back to you. No problemo. All right. Okay. Zinni time. People want to see the kitty. Hi, Zinni. Oh, she saw. She heard it. She heard it. Look at her little tail. I've seen some cats use their tail as like a stepping block so they don't have to get their paws cold, like especially in the snow in like very cold regions. Did I figure out my mystery health issue? Yeah, it's grade A LA gastritis, which I've been since treating, taking out acidic foods out of my diet. And I've been feeling a hell of a lot better. I don't drink coffee anymore. I haven't drank coffee in 3 months. Can you believe it? 3 months without coffee. I still can't believe it. I don't know how I'm surviving without it, but I do have some caffeine every once in a while. just in different format, not through not through coffee. Hi, Zingy. Look at that tail. Those ears perk up. Oh, Zingy. I'm trying to grab her attention, and she's just like she's looking very confused right now. Who has the highest false DUI arrest like percentage? False DUI arrest. Usually like outlying counties because they're bored and they don't know what else to do, so they arrest people sleeping in their cars and shit like that. Okay. Whoa, Matrix. Whoa. Matrix, we out here. Okay, so I'm all out here. I'm a nurse with experience in trauma surgery, paramedic, and ER nurse. When a medical SW pulls child on lap, kisses child, and then say you want to be their mommy, then threaten child with not seeing mom. What the fuck? Yeah, I can tell. Matrix, are you all right? Like, do you need a hug? I'm not even joking. I'm being straight up. Oh shoot, I still have the um flash on. There we go. Seriously, do you need a hug? Are you okay? Social worker. I knew that. I'm sorry. I told you my brain is just like um I'm a nurse with when a medical social worker pulls a child on their lap, kisses them and says, "Do you want to be their mommy?" Then threaten the child with not seeing their mom. Love you, Zinni. Spelling. Okay, so what's the question? Is that like malpractice? Is that a threat that is sufficient to raise ire? That happened in the Maya case. That's what I figured. That's what I figured. That's extreme. That is definitely extreme. Not surprised even more now that the jury rendered a verdict in the family's favor, if that's a fact. Whew. Like I said, I'm sorry I did not follow the trial as closely as I would have liked. Um, Jesus. Yeah. That is not okay. That is bordering on like open malpractice, literally. You did spell Zinni right. It's spelled like this. Here, I will type it in the chat so that everybody knows. This is how you spell it without any spelling errors, without giving her the little nickname. If you want to give her the nickname, you just change the IA to a Y, or just drop the A, I guess. Both are valid. So zinnia means it's a flower. It's a flower. I adopted her, so I learned the hard way not to change an animal's name once you adopt them. But um, welcome, Alice Martinez. Or no, thank you for being a member for 4 months. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, by the way. Just a quick reminder for you all out there. So coming up, what do we have coming up? We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. First of all, sorry for not streaming yesterday. I had to drive to Cincinnati. That was a long drive. And I was like debating. I was like, do I go live? Do I not go live? Do I go live? Do I not go live? Do I go live in the car? Do I wait until I arrive? Do I have time? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I didn't have anything of substance to talk about. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. They're gonna forgive me one day. Like, I'm forgiven. I'm forgiven. I'm not going live. My chat will forgive me. My fans will forgive me. I hope, dear God, please, you know. And so today I was like, we got to talk about this and give you all an update. And of course, coming up, like I said, I've had 2 jury trials last week, one on Monday and one on Friday. So both of those are going to have portions that are going to go live probably, I would say, next week, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully. Hopefully. Then I also have old trials that I've been trying to kind of like piece together and post them, but they're every time I post them, I lose subscribers. Not a huge chunk, but it depresses me where I put out content and people are like, I'm not interested in this shit. And I'm like, really? So maybe I'll just post some of the cross examinations that I haven't posted yet, which there are a few. Then I want to get you all the video from today. Today was a very interesting day. We had a jury trial that was supposed to go, and the prosecutor actually, you know what? I'm not going to finish that statement. I'm going to keep it a surprise. So I'm going to post a video maybe in a couple of weeks, probably, since it just happened this morning. It takes a while. We got to order the tape, and we got to get the tape, then I got to upload it, then we got to download it. And then once I download it, I have to cut it up, and then I have to create a title and all that and post it. So it takes a little bit. But at the end of the day, I do want your opinion. This is actually going to be a what do you think? Did the judge get it right or did the judge get it wrong case? Which I want to hear your opinion. I think it's going to be very interesting. So that's happening next. And I am planning a trip to Brazil to go see my brother. So that's going to be happening Sunday. I literally have a tab open right now with a ticket to Sao Paulo. So yeah, that's happening. Brazil, here I come. Any fans in Brazil, let me know. We might do a little meet and greet or something. I know Brazil is like huge. You'd be like, I'm in Brazil, and you're like all the way 18 hours west, and it would still be Brazil. But well, this is the same brother that was in Israel. Okay, so serious side note. He took his kids because he was living in Ashkelon. I was going to go see him on October 7th, but something happened on October 7th, if you all remember, in Israel while I was there. So literally Saturday morning was when I was planning on going to rent a car and driving down to Ashkelon, which is right near Gaza, to go and visit him. Now, that didn't happen. My great uncle lives there too, and he's still there. But my brother decided to leave, smart man, with his 3 children. And he's now with his mother-in-law and I think his baby mama, because I don't think they're together anymore. But she's there with him and the 3 kids. And I just offered, to come visit, and he's like, hell yeah. So that's happening. And my next trial is right after Thanksgiving. It's a bullshit trial. It's literally a speeding case, but it's a truck driver, so he's got a lot to lose. So it's not really bullshit. I'm taking the case very seriously, but when I say bullshit, I mean it is going to take 15 minutes type of BS. You know what I mean? And hopefully we're going to win, obviously. And then I have another jury trial scheduled for. Now, Mariros, I think, knows my cat a little too much because she just said Zinnia also means to play. Trust me, it's my area of expertise. You're not wrong because Zinnia loves to play. Don't say it out loud because she will get up and start like actually playing. You know what I'm saying? Like don't raise her ire. By the way, is this like some DUI guy ASMR we got going on right now? Like I don't know what's happening right now. I just started whispering because she just woke up. She just woke up. I just saw her. Go back to sleep, Zinni. Go back to sleep. Okay. So yeah, Brazil. I'm gonna visit my brother. Trial at the end of November, and then I have another trial December 15th. I don't know if that one is going to go or not. We've had it continued so many times, but we'll see. And that will be probably it for the end of the year. With trials, there are a bunch of trials in January and February. Most of them are actually going to be the responsibility of my associate, but I may snag a couple, especially if I get bored or something, Business is going well. Can't complain. Trying to get to 1 million subscribers. So again, if you have not yet subscribed, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, help us get to 1 million. And I will see you all tomorrow where we'll talk about, I have no idea. Bye, everybody.